Joining us from Perth is Thunderlara's Tony Lofthouse. Tony, thank you very much for being with us today.
Danielle, pleasure to be here, and it's glad to have the opportunity to update shareholders on what we're doing.
Yes, you are up to quite a bit. Could you give us a recap, please, of all the Thunderlara projects currently in the works?
The main focus is on gold exploration in Western Australia. We have the Gully project, which is about 15 kilometres north-northwest of the town of Meekatharra. As many will know, Meekatharra is a major West Australian mining centre, having produced close to 8 million ounces out of the Archean Yilgarn Craton over the years. So we're in the right location. It's a major centre with all the infrastructure in place. It has an airport that actually will take jumbos. It's the alternative for the Perth airport. So if anything happens at Perth, planes can land at Meekatharra, and it's on the Great Northern Highway. So ideal location. It's mainly gold, as I say, and we acquired the assets about late December 2015 and started exploration in mid-2016. And in the time since then, the work that's been done there in the past has not been extensive. Historical production at Gully, it's about 21,000 ounces of gold at about 22 grams. So it's high-grade material that we've been after. And at the moment, the last year and a half, we've been aggressively exploring the ground.
Yes, speaking of this exploration, I know the drilling recommenced. You've just announced this week. Could you tell us more details about this?
Certainly, Danielle. As I say, in the past, we've done about 40,000 metres of drilling to date since we commenced. And there's about 24,000 metres of reverse circulation and 2,500 metres of diamond, and the balance being air core that has just recently been completed. But of major interest is the Crown Prince project, or the Crown Prince prospect, which is where most of the production has happened. And that's where we have started drilling again just the last couple of days. We have, at the moment, both an RC and a diamond rig there. And the principal objective for the diamond rig is to explore the down dip and down plunge extensions and along strike extensions of the two historical lodes that formed the basis for the mineralization that has been mined to date. That's the main lode and the northern lode. As I say, the historical grade had been about 22 grams per tonne. And we, in our first exploration late last year, first drilling at Crown Prince, had intersected 8 metres at 22 grams, including 2 at 66. That's 2 ounces. And that's deep at 259 metres. So that was 130 metres below the base of the historical mining. We find that really exciting because it means this ground that's not been explored since back in 1920, 1930, and not been mined since then. Sorry, it was explored in the late 1980s, 90s, and early 2000s. But everybody had walked away from it. Now we've discovered that this extends. So we need to continue to drill, to explore the extensions of that mineralization and to look for repetition. So we're really excited about getting the rig back on the ground and working again.
Fantastic, the drilling's recommenced there. But of course, there has been a lot of news about red boar associated with Thunderlara. So what's going on with that project?
Danielle, in the past, red boar had been our primary and main focus. It's a copper-gold play right next door to DeGrussa, Sandfire's DeGrussa mining operation. The tenement boundary is less than 200 metres from their plant, really. It's very, very close. We had struck a deal with them in about June last year, and our joint venture partner, Bill Richmond, who's a prospector, preempted that and is now doing the exploration himself there. We own 90%, he has 10%, and can earn an additional 75% if he discovers 30,000 tonnes of copper. And to do that, he has to put at least $1.5 million worth of exploration in the ground between now and January 2019. So he's currently just started work there. His team is currently doing some drilling, which I believe began in the first week of April. So we're really excited because it costs us nothing and it's effectively a free option for any Thunderlara shareholders, because we don't put any money into the ground and it's being done for us, which is great. Very exciting still.
So perhaps a silly question, but could you tell us a bit about your funding position and how it pertains to your plans for the rest of 2018?
We raised some money late last year, late 2017, and at the end of March we have in the order of $3.3 million in the bank. So we're well funded for the balance of 2018 to continue the exploration at at Garden Gully and the associated Crown Prince and other prospects at Garden Gully, all of which, as I said before, are very exciting and we believe may form the basis of a new discovery area in near Meekatharra, so in the Western Australian goldfields. It's great news.
Yes, a lot of great news, a lot happening, Tony. Let's close out with a recap of the next big news flows that investors need to stay tuned to Thundalara for.
Okay, well, the drilling that's currently underway, as I say, there's about 2,000 metres of diamond planned at Crown Prince. That'll probably be 6 or 7 holes, and about 2,500 metres of RC, some of which will look to be able to demonstrate that previous holes drilled there and the high grades recovered from them are actually valid. So we need to just validate those previous drilling holes as well. It'll take probably the balance of April into early May to get that drilling completed, and then you have to cut core and send it off to the lab for assay. And as everybody knows, activity is pretty busy at the moment, so assays take a bit longer. So I'm sort of looking early June as being hopefully the time when we'll have results back in a form that we'll be able to present to the market. And if we happen to come across anything really exciting beforehand, like visible gold as we have in the past, then obviously we'll announce that to the market as soon as it occurs in order to keep the market fully informed. But for Thundalara shareholders, there's an awful lot of good news coming up. We're well funded, we've got plenty to do, and it's in gold, which, as everybody knows, is a commodity at the moment that is worth being exposed to. And we're in a very, very good position next to a couple of plants that need feed. So we're very happy with where we're at the moment, and technically we believe we're on the cusp of something great.
Sounds like a lot of activity coming up, Tony. We look forward to having you back in the studio very soon. Good luck with all of the drilling that's going on at all of those projects.
Thanks, Danielle, and thank you for the opportunity to bring people up to date with what we're up to.